Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lydia and this is Vintage Nectarines. Today's video is just a fun little Thriftbooks haul. If you have been following my channel or my Instagram page or me for any amount of time, you know that I love to read, I love books, and we are definitely a book-loving, book-reading family. And I love new books, old books, just books. And so for me, there's something kind of special about thrifted books and you know, well-used books, because a well-used book is a well-loved book. So this is just a fun little Thriftbooks.com haul. I purchased 10 books a couple weeks ago for, I think, right around $45, which is really good for that amount of books. So I just wanted to show you guys the ones I got. Yeah, so I'm going to start with these four. They are all Disney retellings in some way or another. And I'm very excited to read them all. So I will actually be reading this book, Flunked, in April. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that this year, instead of doing genres per season, which is how I usually read my books, I have assigned each month a color. And so like February was pink and red, March was green, and April is going to be blue. So any book that is either blue on the spine or blue on the cover works. So I'm going to be reading Flunked, which is the first book in a 5-book series called the Fairy Tale Reform School series. The other books in that series are Charmed, Tricked, Switched, and Wished. So I'm just gonna read the back of it to you. I think it sounds so cute. And this series is from Jen Calonita, I think that's correct. It says, Jilly wouldn't call herself wicked, exactly. But when you have 5 little brothers and sisters and live in a rundown boot, you have to get creative to make ends meet. Jilly's a pretty good thief, if she does say so herself. Until she gets caught. Jilly's sentenced to 3 months at Fairy Tale Reform School, where all of the teachers are former, super scary villains like the Big Bad Wolf, the Evil Queen, and Cinderella's wicked stepmother. Harsh. But when she meets fellow students Jax and Kayla, she learns there's more to this school than its heroic mission. There's a battle brewing, and Jilly has to wonder just how good these bad guys are. So I'm really excited to read this one. And I do plan on reading the other 4 books in the series at some point. But yeah, and then I just wanted to show you. So this book was considered very good, I believe. And if you can see, so the pages are all fairly nice and clean. There's no dents or damage. There is a little bit of wear, of course, to the corners. But this is a, book that's in very good shape. The next book I got is called Lost in a Book, and it is, of course, a Beauty and the Beast retelling by Jennifer Donnelly. And I got this book because I heard my friend Amber mention it, and then I also heard Nicole of Irresistible Magic talk about it, and I was like, okay, I need to get my hands on this book. So I got this one, and again, I'm just gonna read the back. Smart, bookish Belle, a captive in the Beast's castle, has become accustomed to her new home and has befriended its inhabitants. When she comes upon Nevermore, an enchanted book unlike anything she has ever seen in the castle, Belle finds herself pulled into its pages and transported to a world of glamour and intrigue. The adventures Belle has always imagined, the dreams she was forced to give up when she became a prisoner, seem within her grasp. So, sounds so good. Beauty and the Beast is one of my all-time favorite stories and Disney movies, and Belle is my absolute favorite Disney princess, so I'm really excited to give this book a try. This book is a black book and spine, so it won't be read until October, but once I read it, I will be sure to tell you guys all about it. Again, this one was labeled as very good, and you can see that it is in very good shape. The next book on my list is Grump by Liesl Shurtliff. I love this. It says Grump, the fairly true tale of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. I have wanted to read this book for so long. This is actually going to be June. Yes, June are my yellow books. So I won't be reading this one until June, but I'm so excited. And this one was a library binding book, and it was considered good. And it's actually in great shape. I think I paid like $4 and something for this book. So there are other books in Liesl's Fairly True Tales, and they are Jack, which is of course the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, Rump, which is Rumpelstiltskin, and Red, the story of Red Riding Hood. And so I just love the description of this book. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the grumpiest dwarf of all? Ever since he was a dwarfling, Borlin, nicknamed Grump, has dreamed of visiting the surface. So when opportunity knocks, he leaves his cavern home behind. At first, life above ground is a dream come true. Queen Elfrida Veronica Ingrid Lenore, EVIL, is the best friend Grump always wanted, feeding him all the rubies he can eat and allowing him to rule at her side. But as time goes on, Grump starts to suspect that the evil queen, that Queen Evil may not be as nice as she seems. When the queen commands him to assist in the fiendish plot against her stepdaughter, Snow White, Grump is in over his head. He's bound by magic to help the queen, but also to protect Snow White. As if that wasn't stressful enough, the queen keeps bugging him for updates through her magic mirror. He'll have to dig deep to find a way out of this pickle, and that's enough to make any dwarf grumpy indeed. So I can't wait to read this. As you can tell, all of these books are, probably I would say middle grade-ish. I know that this book was in the Owl Crate Junior bookish subscriptions at one point, and so it's definitely middle grade, but I love middle grade books. There's something so magical about the way children's books are written, I think, and the adventures they take you on, and so I am really looking forward to all of them. And then last but not least, this one is definitely not middle grade. It would definitely be considered YA. But this is Unhinged by A.G. Howard, and it is the second book in a 3-book series called Splintered, which is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. And it's told from the perspective of Alice's great-great-granddaughter, Alyssa, who realizes that all of the women in her family after Alice are cursed. And, they can hear bugs talk to them and flowers talk to them. And Alyssa's mother is actually in an insane asylum because she heard a bug talking to her when Alyssa was little, and she attacked Alyssa to try to protect her. And so I am currently reading Splintered, which is the first book in the series, where Alyssa falls into Wonderland and tries to break the curse on her family. And this is book 2 in the series, Unhinged, and it is obviously about the Mad Hatter. And y'all, I love the Mad Hatter. He is probably my favorite character ever. I love him. I even have a hat up here that I made for my daughter to be him for Halloween one year. I love him. These books are definitely a little darker. It kind of takes you in the direction that Alice and all of her family are crazy. So it's definitely kind of a darker twist on the Alice in Wonderland stories, but I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm not going to read the back of this one because it definitely includes spoilers about things that happen in the first book. But as I said, this is book 2. So the first one is Splintered. The second one is this one, Unhinged. The third book in the series is Ensnared. And then there is a 4th book called Untamed, which is a 3-story novella that has 3 different little stories about Alyssa and her family looking back on their memories of Wonderland. So I will be reading this book in May. Yes, in May, because May is purple. So I'm looking forward to reading it. And just look at that artwork on the front. I'll pop in a picture right here on the screen of the cover of Splintered because it is also beautiful. It has Alyssa on the front and it is green and she's got crazy like blonde curly hair and there are like butterflies and bugs in her hair. So the artwork is really pretty. And what I love about this is that on the inside of the book, the text is also purple. So, okay, so that does it for my Disney retelling. I also got 3 more, I would say, middle grade YA books. The first one is The Train to Impossible Places. I will also be reading this book in April, as it is blue. And it is a 2-book series, I believe, but it's about a train called the Postal Express that is operated by trolls, and it travels to all kinds of places, from ocean bottom shipwrecks to Trollville, and even to space. But one day it shows up in Susie's living room and basically turns her whole world upside down. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I have also been eyeing this one for a long time. So this one was considered acceptable. No, excuse me, good. This one was good. And you can tell it definitely has a little bit more wear on it, but it's still in really good shape. And this one was only like $3.25. So I would definitely check it out. Originally in stores, it was $7.99. So I'm very excited for that. The next one I got is book 2 in the Fairyland series. And this one is The Girl Who Fell Beneath Fairyland and Led the Revels There. The first one is The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making, and I read that in 2019 as one of our book club books. And so I'm excited to read this second book. It is purple, so I will be reading this one in May along with Unhinged. And so basically what happened in the first one is the green wind comes and takes September to Fairyland because her help is desperately needed there. And so in book 2, it says, September has longed to return to Fairyland after her first adventures there. And when she finally does, she learns that its inhabitants have been losing their shadows and their magic to the world of Fairyland below. This world has a new ruler, Halloween, the Hollow Queen, who is September's shadow. And Halloween has no intentions of giving Fairyland's shadows back. September finds her good friends Elle and the Wyvery and the boy Saturday, all of which she met in book number 1. But in Fairyland below, even the best of friends aren't always what they seem. So this one is fun. It's very whimsical, very magical. It has an amazing cast of characters. The way things are described, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie What Dreams May Come, but Robin Williams kind of falls into a dream world. And things are just very vivid, and the descriptions of this book and Fairyland kind of remind me of that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This one was considered acceptable, and as you can see, there's definitely some yellowing on the pages. There were some bent pieces, so a couple of the pages are folded over, but it's still truthfully in pretty good shape, and I paid $2.99 for this book. So originally, again, this book would have been $8 in the store. So, and last but not least in this category is Under Wildwood by Colin Meloy. And this is book number 2 in the Wildwood series. I have yet to finish the first book in this series, and I will be reading it this year in December. Because it's a white book. And so I won't be reading this one in October. October is supposed to be all my black books. I won't be reading this one because I, of course, won't be reading the first one until December. But I have loved every single thing about the series. I fell in love with these when I first saw the cover. And then, of course, all of the illustrations in this book are absolutely beautiful. So I don't know a ton about these books because I, of course, like I said, haven't read them yet. But I do know that there are 3 books in this series. So I'm very excited to get these read. This book in stores would have been $10. It was considered like new, I believe, so I paid more for this one. This one was a little bit over $5. I think it was $5 and like 67 cents or something like that. And it is in very good shape. And then last but not least, I wanted to show these because I think it's a great resource if you're looking for children's books, if you're looking for educational books, or if you're looking for anything for homeschooling. We are a homeschooling family, and I do actually find a lot of our books on thriftbooks.com for homeschooling purposes. And this time around, I got 3 of the Who Was books. So I got Who Was Queen Elizabeth, Who Was William Shakespeare, and Who Was Henry the VIII. And I got these 3 because we are currently studying the Renaissance. And so I picked all of these up. In the stores, these books run for $5.99. And I know that on Amazon, I think you can get them for like $5.19. I got all 3 of these. They were all considered good or very good condition. They are all pretty good. There's a little bit of a bend in the back of Henry the VIII, but nothing major. And each one of these was less than $3. So just a great resource, of course, if you're looking for homeschooling materials and things like that. So that was it. Really short and sweet video today. I just honestly wanted to show you the books that I got that I'm looking forward. Stay tuned because pretty soon I will have my February and March book wrap up. I never got around to filming February's on its own, and since I only read 2 books in February, I figured I would just lump them into March. So I will be giving you guys a full wrap up and review on the 10 books that I finished between February and March. And I'm very excited to do that. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. And if you're interested in checking out any of these books, check out thriftbooks.com. Not sponsored, by the way. Just, yeah, really think it's a great resource. And if you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. And if you'd like to read any of these books, let me know. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that bell so you can be notified anytime I have a new video, and hit the subscribe button if you have not done so yet. I will see you guys next time. Bye.